Good evening, viewers. Welcome back with me, Mr. Baim. I was live. Tonight, I'm gonna discuss a case with you, and it's about is social media good for society? Let's discuss. Around 7 out of 10 Americans, or 72%, use social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest, up from 26% in 2008. On social media sites, users may develop biographical profiles, communicate with friends and strangers, do research, and share thoughts, photos, music, links, and more. Proponents of social networking sites say that the online communities promote increased interaction with friends and family, offer teachers, librarians, and students valuable access to educational support and materials, facilitate social and political change, and disseminate useful information rapidly. I explained to you about pros and cons arguments by the data about this case. Firstly, I'll tell you pros arguments. Here it is. First, social media promotes community that can translate into or supplement offline relationship. Using social media, people can have friends with similar interests in multiple cities, states, and countries. Closer to home, social media can help people find each other in a busy world, from mom groups and soccer leagues to book clubs and historical reenactment groups. Most young people will say that social media and networked games are a lifeline to supportive connections with friends and loved ones. This was critical during the COVID-19 pandemic when schools and sports were off limits. Social media can also be a way for young people to connect with others with shared interests and identities, which can be a lifeline for youth with marginalized or stigmatized identities, such as LGBTQ plus youth or racial and religious minority youth, explains Mizuko Ito, professor of information and computer sciences at the University of California at Irvine. And the opposite is also true, while social media does not substitute for in person contact. Relationships that might previously have gone dormant now persist over time online. As such, social media users tend to report that they have access to more social support and have lower psychological distress. Offers Kate Hampton, professor of media and information at Michigan State University. Studies have shown that not only does social media participation not completely obliterate in person friendships as once feared, but that online relationships are a key supplement that add to one's well being. People are able to share more of their lives with friends and family and may receive crucial support from groups they do not have in offline life. 80% of teens felt more connected to friends. 67% felt they had people to support them. And 58% felt more accepted because of social media. Traditional barriers to friendships are reduced or completely removed for adults who are no longer in school or do not have a pool of coworkers, particularly when working from home. Shy, introverted, or socially reaction People can use social media to reach out to potential friends with lowered barriers and risks. Social media can also promote school and work communities. The platforms allow students and parents to connect to each other as well as teachers and other school staff outside of school hours to establish relationships as well as connect with outside community members and experts for internships, interviews, and other opportunities. For work employees can connect with remote coworkers and other companies for what used to be water cooler chats, as well as for global projects collaboration, advice, and career networking. The pros arguments number two is social media encourages civic and political responsibility. Many of today's youth take to digital spaces to develop their civic identities and express political stances in creative ways, claiming agency that may not be afforded to them in traditional civic spaces. The key difference between civic engagement by youth today and older, more traditional forms of action is the availability of digital technology, which provides a low barrier to entry canvas for young people to create content that is potentially vastly scalable, according to 2020 UNICEF report. Social media creates a more equitable point of entry and space for continued civic and political activity than traditional spaces. This easy access contributes to a sense of socio political empowerment, which in turn makes young people more likely to participate in offline political activities, including voting. Carla, a self identified Latina young person, explained, I feel like it's my duty that I come from a heritage of people that don't have a voice, don't have the opportunity to say something. It's my duty to be like, this is wrong. And hopefully that inspires someone else to be like, oh, she's right. Or, oh, he's right. And I want to be a part of that. That's why I took it. We are the voice. While young people are taking responsibility to provide that information they share. Jeremy noted, I found myself becoming much active during an election to some degree in terms of reposting different pieces of information that I try to vet as much as possible. I found myself once or twice having to delete stories because of the information ended up being incorrect. And I felt like it was my obligation to immediately take it down. Social media allows for political activists, to fundraise, partner with influencers to push the message, promote events including marches, share stories, and spread awareness of their chosen issues. For example, social media use fueled political protests including the Arab Spring, Black Lives Matter, Love Wins, hashtag Love Wins, hashtag Me Too, and Occupy Wall Street. Presidents Obama and Trump both used social media to an unprecedented degree to communicate with both US citizens and people. Social media do not only enables the